Good morning, Senators, and thank you for inviting us today to the most unique gig we've had in years.
It's rare that you get to say, this is a change I'd like to see that I don't have control myself to be able to make happen. Cool that can lead to some cool stuff actually changing.
Don't Lose Sight is a really important song to us. It's about not giving up in the face of the BS that all of us face on a day-to-day basis. And people assume it's only about our experience in the music industry, but it actually started from a story about Gracie's acting career.
And it's specifically a job that I didn't get.
We were in the studio later that day.
I went in wanting to write a song that was like sad and angry.
And Clyde was playing these super upbeat chords. Jorgen Odegaard, who was the producer we were in with that day, was just making this super happy, anthemic song.
And then Gracie was like crying in the corner. And like I was like playing the chords and he was like making this beat.
And I was like, you know what? I think that this song that clearly is taking form, that is just a happy song, can still be about my experience, but instead of making it a song about giving up, it could be a song about not giving up.
And for me, I immediately resonated with what Gracie was trying to write about because I have my own frustrations with the music industry, and that's something we think about all the time. I feel like we left the studio that day feeling like, wow, we might have one of our biggest songs on our hands right now.
So excited to drive 9 hours.
We used to do this all the time. Suck then, it's gonna suck more now.
I think it will suck more now.
Jordan, tell me about the ticket thing. Tell me more.
Yeah, so I hope a big component of this documentary is how we continue to learn ways in which all these big companies are really like screwing the artist. So one big component is the ticketing, where they pay the venues a bunch of money up front and say you have to use us to sell tickets. Now these companies sell tickets to our fans and charge them an insane fee, like literally up 30-35% of the ticket price, which is crazy, because what are they doing for that? They're just printing a ticket. We actually built our own ticketing software during COVID to use for some of the virtual events that we ran, and we're trying to now convert that to a live ticketing platform where we're going to every venue we're playing and we're saying we want to sell our own tickets. What can we do?
Yeah, if I just buy a bunch of tickets from you, you know, at face value, is that an option?
There are so many little things in the life of a musician that just feel unfair. The percentage of artist merch cuts that venues take, the fact that they don't share any of their ancillary revenues, it's the basic deal structures. We've just been trying to think and put our heads together about ways that we can change that system in little ways. So this is one way, is like we're like, hey, can we just sell our own tickets? And what's crazy is most of the time the answer is no.
We would probably sell them to you without the fees on top, and then that prevents us from getting fees, which is...
Everyone wants the fees.
This is probably the coolest venue tour so far. But we found a few venues on this tour that are going to let us.
With our software and our people.
Okay, yeah, well that would take...
Drove through the night from Toronto?
Yep.
You're in the city of Chicago.
Indeed. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, I don't really know what day it is where I am. Thank you guys so much for having me.
10 minutes downstairs.
Do the whole ticketing for you.
It's one of the worst liquors ever invented. The last time one of my friends had it, they immediately projectile vomited. Just not even drunk, just like one shot per taste.
What's funny is that as we were starting to have more and more of these discussions, Don't Lose Sight was starting to gain a ton of momentum for us. We had put out this acoustic version. The video of it just went super viral, and it was becoming kind of like our most popular song.
Oh my God. Oh, you gotta go home. Ben, you gotta go home.
The reason that I don't remember you.
Get this caffeine in my veins.
Oh, I'm exhausted, for sure.
It's 4 hours, 18 minutes, so we should probably budget 5 hours for the drive.
If this didn't open, because I'm going to shape my legs, so
Okay. I think Culver, like, you see, like, phallic stuff everywhere you look. I'm asking for a friend.
Jordan Cohen.
You mean
What would you want named after you if you could have something named after
I would want a piece of infrastructure named after me, like a bridge.
What kind? A bridge?
Yeah, probably a bridge.
You would want
Or
Disorder. I think Disorder is actually a pretty good one. I think that's underrated.
Yeah.
Gracie, which shirt? 1, 2, 3. And these are my 3 shirts for the next 3 shows, so they're my left.
Toyos.
Alright, well, I'll meet you down. I'll be down in 2 minutes.
I do believe and always encourage artists to think more about how their business is run, but the whole system should be fair such that when artists do engage with their own business, they're not constantly just having to play defense against a system that's stacked against them.
While we became musicians because of our passion for making music, we realized early on that we needed to embrace the entrepreneurial aspects of pursuing careers as artists. Ever since we started touring, we've tried to be vocal about the lopsided deal mechanics we were facing. If an artist plays at a Live Nation venue, the artist has no choice but to have the show ticketed by Ticketmaster. And to be clear, we have absolutely zero say or visibility in how much these fees will be. And in case you're wondering, no, we, the artists, do not get a cent of that fee.
Don't lose sight, baby, don't lose sight. Then they try to give me up, but I won't give it. The news of life will reach you down, but I keep living. So I tell myself when I sleep all night, don't lose sight, baby, don't lose sight.
I've been getting these post-show headaches. Do you mind turning the light off in here for a second?
Some water?
I just had chills going throughout my body. I'm like, everything I needed right now, especially after everything that's been going on.
Harsh. Just putting away the bass stuff right now. These are people that are working their tails off because they know they gotta do it for the next show and the next people.
We drove through the night, got here at like 9 or 10 in the morning, checked into the hotel, slept for 2 hours.
We're going as Jordan and Clyde from Lawrence.
That every different person we talk to has slightly different rules, and the fact that Jordan and I have in the last day had 20 conversations with box office people at different venues has been extremely educating already. Your contract with the venue, because they have an exclusive contract with Live Nation, who has an exclusive contract with Ticketmaster because they're all the same person, all of a sudden your deal with Ticketmaster is that you can sell at most 10% of the tickets. But what's really funny is the people that you deal with on a day-to-day basis are not those higher powers that be.
Let's take a look at settlement here.
When we are settling our show at the end of the night and it's this raw deal, this shitty deal for the artist.
Yeah, $1,500. And that's a house cost. It doesn't need to affect you guys.
Well, it does affect us if it's getting deducted. We're not dealing with the person that made that deal. We're dealing with whoever's working at the venue that day, and like, generally speaking, they're super nice people. Sometimes they don't even know what the deal is. Probably not be getting the back end if we sold out the show.
Because, and that's the weird thing that I actually had some questions on, and we might have to get my accounting department involved.
Oh, I thought of a new thing that I would want to be named after. A move in a game, like a chess sequence, or like a Catan strategy.
Right.
Is the
I lost my ring.
It's really
Wow, I am officially out of clean shirt.
As long as we lead these endeavors with like kindness and just like here's what we're trying to do to make it better for ourselves, I think a lot of people who are outside of this band and just in the music industry will be appreciative if this happens to down the line somehow change something even small in the way that artists are treated.
Yeah, let's hear a quick version of the story ever since you guys were like in Clyde's bedroom coding that ticketing platform. Because it's successful.
It was incredibly successful from our standpoint. We were able to get most, if not all, of the shows to allow us to sell some portion of the tickets.
Right after we got off the tour, we found out that Don't Lose Sight was going to be in this massive Microsoft commercial. All of a sudden, it was one of the top songs worldwide in Shazam. The song broke into top 40 on pop radio, which is something that pretty much never happens for completely independent bands. And all these opportunities started coming our way. We performed on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, the Stephen Colbert Show.
As the song was growing, and we were also becoming more outspoken about how the system can be stacked against artists.
When this whole Taylor Swift ticketing debacle happened, not only our fans, but also people in our lives started asking us for our opinions. People wanted to hear what we had to say on all of it.
One day we just kind of decided to go Instagram Live, and Clyde and I just sat at our studio desk for like an hour, just fielding questions.
And my friend who works in the policy world was like, you know, right now, like, journalists are really interested in pieces from artist perspective about these issues with all of the spotlight. Like, this is a great time for you to try to write something. Next thing you know, I have a cold email from the New York Times being like, we read your piece, we'd love to run it this week.
And we knew the risks associated with it, but it just felt like something that, if written without contempt, it could be conveyed in a way that really made sense to people and could actually create some change.
So the op-ed comes out, people in the industry were talking about it, our agents were getting calls about it. We got another cold email from Senator Amy Klobuchar's office.
With that, I turn it over to you, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you. Our attitude was, we have a list of things we'd like to see change, and we are open to talking to anyone and everyone. So among the people that reached out to us was Live Nation. They said, we hear you loud and clear. We want to have a conversation about the things that you think need to change, and some pretty significant changes are being rolled out.
One of the main changes they're making is no longer taking merch cuts from artists at these venues under 3,000 cap. It is millions of dollars every single year that is going directly back into artists' pockets. That money is so unbelievably impactful to your bottom line.
Feels like this is kind of a first step in hopefully a lifelong journey of creating like a fairer music industry. It's definitely cool to see that actual change is possible and to have helped play a small role in making it happen. And it's just inspiring me and us to keep chipping away at it.
This year that we spent really trying to get in the weeds and channel the things we were learning and even frustrations we were having about the industry into positive change. So ironic that amidst all of that, our most successful song to date was a song about those very frustrations and about not giving up and trying to make change.
Thank you so much, Washington!
So funny how that works out sometimes.
We are Lawrence, have a good night!
Thank you so much! You guys have been incredible. Thank you to every last one of you.
It really feels like this whole tour has just been leading up to the New York show at Terminal 5. And that's not just because it's the biggest show and the biggest headline tour we've ever had, but maybe even more importantly to us, because it's a hometown show.